iCONECT already incorporates a number of well-known tools into its platform. You have great processing at the front end, and then your analytics is powered by Sentio and AFI.
Yep.
So what's next?
You know, we're always looking for ways to partner with really solid tech. I mean, other companies laser focus on developing things like AI technology, and for us to start from the ground and do that just isn't a good use of our resources. So you are correct, we've partnered with a lot of other technologies to make sure that we can fit pieces of that EDRM model, including processing, which actually was built by one of our vendors. So it's really been battle tested, and we've now incorporated that right inside the platform. On the AI side, a couple of different engines. One of them manages really the blocking and tackling, the near dupe, the threading, the clustering, the conceptually find similar, the driving things like exemplar that I talked about earlier. And then the other one really manages CAL and gives us the ability to very quickly go in and with looking at a smaller group of documents, be able to then predict out across a larger scope of documents. The other thing that we're finding is the privacy issue becoming a real key, not only here in the UK, but also in the US. And I think redaction is becoming more and more important. We're actually using some unique entity extraction technology and PII identification to be able to identify XY pointers on documents, to be able to go in and do not only regular expression, but really intelligent AI, looking for things like phone numbers and fax numbers and health card numbers, things like that.
What's a fax?
Yeah, exactly. But believe me, there's a lot of documents out there. We actually have one of our demo documents where you can say, I want to find fax numbers, I don't want to find phone numbers. And it will in fact highlight the fax number and redact the fax number, but will not redact the phone number. So it has intelligence for looking at the words in and around it for context. And so that's a really neat piece. So there's a number of government agencies in the US who have a lot of redacting to do. And they've contacted us, and we're in the thick of a few different projects, very interesting projects right now. You'd be surprised at some of the stuff that we're redacting. But I think that's going to continue. People need to search for PII, people need to understand risk. And even when you go back to something like that M&A project, the Toshiba British Nuclear project, imagine if we had been able to identify the potential PII risk in that data set as a part of the transaction. It would have become a very, very valuable piece for folks on both sides from a negotiation perspective. So we're seeing the identification of PII, the ability to report on it, the ability to redact it, as sort of a new area that we're pretty sure isn't going to decrease in size. It's only going to become more prominent.
One of the parts of the software that we really like is self-serve.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
You know, it's interesting. More and more, every time I download an app on my phone, the amount of time I spend watching a video is 0. And the amount of time I spend sort of looking up how to do things on Google is 0. You just jump in. You start poking buttons, and people start to understand now. You know that the share icon sort of looks like that with 2 little dots on it, and you know that the gear icon is going to give you the admin controls. And I think those kinds of things are making it really comfortable for people to interact with the platform. So what we've gone and done is we've gone and added a whole self-serve layer to it, so that people will now be able to go in and create their own case, upload their own documents, set their own parameters for things like duplication, identification of PII, what tagging folders that they want to have, and be able to do that in a very seamless way, to the point where our goal really is for people to require no training to be able to use the platform. We've also noticed that there are different people, different personas who interact. You know, we got the project manager who's quite comfortable setting things up and monitoring it, but they don't want to really be doing the actual review. And then you've got reviewers who want nothing to do with setting it up. They just want to go in and do their work. And so we have really tried to identify, both with security and also from an interface perspective on that self-serve area, the ability for an administrator to go and set it all up exactly the way you want it, and then for people to take advantage advantage of that setup, take advantage of templates, take advantage of production templates, and in a very self-serve way, now be able to go in and do it themselves. And that's the expectation people have out there now. Nobody downloads an app on their phone and wants to watch a 20-minute video. Sure. Nobody wants to go to a week-and-a-half-long training session. And there are still platforms out there where you have to do that. And we aim not to be that platform.